This is a significant one as it will cover all concerns by individuals, members of the academe, and companies, be it large companies or small cooperatives. DOST is committed to vigorously advance science, technology, and innovation of Filipino-owned companies, of universities in the Philippines, of research and development institutes, as stipulated in the Philippine Development Plan for the period 2017 to 2022. We have adopted the byline Science for the People, okay, hoping that this will enhance the social fabric, reduce inequality, and increase our potential for growth. So, as such, we will discuss with you the technologies and programs that DOST has undertaken to help boost our country's rank in the latest results of the Global Innovation Index. This is not to say that DOST is the only one responsible for bringing up our ranking in the Global Innovation Index, but we would like to show to you what were the programs that we think have contributed to this improvement in rankings. Okay? So the next slide already shows the Global Innovation Index and the trend between 2014 to 2019. Okay, so you start with the blue, and then the red, and then the gray, and then the yellow, and then the ano ba yun? Light blue. Okay, to represent the years 2014 up to, tama ba yun? Up to ano year yung yung code, no? 2015 to 2019. Lima lang yung nakikita kong bars eh. So 20 yung bars are countries. Country ba yun? Hindi. Yung country eh hiwa-hiwalay. Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, India, and so yung bars in a country represent the years, okay? The latest of which, as shown in the case of the, wala dyan yung yung 2019 pa. Actually, the bars, andito sa last yung 2019. Kaya pala, binibilang ko, dapat 6 na bars, kasi 2014 to 2019. So you can see the behavior or the trend, okay, in the rankings, okay, until we suddenly hit 2019, okay, where we now have a rank of, ano ba yun, 52? 54 ba yun? Oo. 54, yung dark blue. Okay. Nalilito ko sa ano ng kulay. So 54 ito, pero doon sa 2018 saan yun? 73. Hindi, India yung tinuturo ninyo. Ayun sa unang-unang Philippines, yun. Yun, 73. Yan, okay. So the ranking, okay. Ang napansin ko, yung location nung nung taon ay hindi pareho, ano? So dito yung rank 73 nandoon sa rightmost side. Dito naman sa bago sa 2019 nasa leftmost side. Anyway, the contributions, okay, are in terms of strengths, and of course there are weaknesses and where we made a big leap. So it says there in the strengths where you have the red prints, the graduates in science and engineering, we made a very high ranking there, and also in terms of research talent. So these are related to human resources, okay? And there are others na hindi pa ganun kataas, like the so-called trade, competition, and market scale. The firms offering formal training, this is training to improve innovations. The high and medium high-tech manufacturers, this is specifically on the export side. And the ICT series, services, okay, exports. On the weakness side, we see the sad rankings. The ease of starting a business is ranked 119 out of 129. The expenditure on education is number 112 out of 129. The gross expenditures on R&D, this is one of the input indicators, is 98 out of 129. The pupil to teacher ratio, 96. And then the tertiary inbound mobility is 108. Ito yung mga papunta. We have the big leap as indicated here are coming from the University Industry Research Collaboration, where we rank number 25. The so-called knowledge absorption, where we rank number 14. The high-tech net exports, where we rank number 1. The Philippines number 1 in terms of the export products that are high-tech. And the creative goods and services, we rank number 40. So you can see which particular factors lifted us from a ranking of 73 in 2018 and also in 2017 to a rank of 54 in 2019, which for the first time we were included in the group of innovation achievers. Okay, we were grouped. Okay, we were made part of the group of innovation achievers due to the remarkable performance in knowledge diffusion and knowledge absorption. So it is worth noting that the Philippines is scored above average in almost all innovation dimensions, and we would like to believe that our various S&T contributions at DOST has contributed to this improvement, okay, particularly our inclusive innovation strategy, okay, which started way back in 2007 when DOST spearheaded the formulation of the Philippine Innovation Strategy, okay, and named it Philippine Innovation Strategy. That was 2007. Up to today, when we have already a new signed law, which is the Philippine Innovation Act. Now, in between, we had, of course, the Technology Transfer Act of 2009, which I think also provided a lot of stimulus to innovation, because it encouraged our researchers to come up with outputs, okay, where economic benefits will go to them mostly. And then we have the Balik Scientist Act of 2018, and now together with the Philippine Innovation Act, we have the Philippine Space Agency Act. Now let me go to the big leaps in GII ranks, just to further emphasize. You can see number 20 is trade competition and market scale, from 30 in 2018 to 20 in 2019. On the creative goods and services, from 104 in 2018 to number 40 in 2019. And I would like to believe that our, shall we say, focus on trying to commercialize the outputs of R&D has contributed to this, as well as our support to startups dealing with creative goods and services, particularly our technology business incubation support, okay, has contributed to this improvement from 104 to 40. We cannot, of course, get the details of what were really the specifics, okay, of the increase in rankings, as this is really something that belongs to the organizers, which are the World Intellectual Property Office, the Cornell University, and the INSEAD in France. In innovation linkages, the jump was from 93 to 71. I would like to think that our industry academe linkages, particularly our incentives for collaborative research, as well as our bilateral agreements, has helped in this improvement in rankings in innovation linkages. Okay, so This year alone, 2019, we signed agreements with France, with the US, with the UK, with China last week, and with Iran. Okay. Now, on knowledge absorption, we also had an improvement from number 32. High na tayo noong 2018 pa at 32 to number 14 in 2019. And in the University Industry Research Collaboration, very specific ito, from number 56 in 2018 to number 25 in 2019. The next slide will show us something that is really related to human resource development, and we can see that our rank, okay, in human resources as an innovation pillar are all high, particularly the graduates in science and engineering, okay, number 18, and in terms of research talent, number 6. Okay, this is remember, this is out of 129 countries. And I would like to think that our massive programs for scholarships in science, technology, engineering, and math have contributed to this big leap in graduates in science and engineering. Imagine we are taking in at the moment 9,000 new scholars, okay, just for the baccalaureate programs, and the others are coming in at the MS and PhD level. So, in terms of university ranking, of course, this is really a matter which will attribute to our higher education institution sectors. The ranking is 51, which is, of course, still above the mean. Now, our ranking in business sophistication is, ano ba yun? Hindi ranking yun. This is the other business sophistication. Can we ito yung sinaside kong figures kanina regarding the graduates in science and engineering, okay? And as far as okay, the figures are there. Ayan na yung details ng business sophistication, which is the other innovation pillar. Kasi yung first innovation pillar is human resource, the second is business sophistication, and later on we will take a look at the third pillar, which is knowledge and technology outputs. And we can see here that in terms of business sophistication, our rank in university industry collaboration is number 25. Okay, in our 129 countries, high-tech imports, okay, imports ito, okay, which is number 5. Nirarank din pala nila kung ano yung ini-import natin, no? Ibig sabihin, kung ang ini-import natin ay pagkain lang at basic commodities, hindi siya high-tech, no? But these are high-tech imports which are, I suppose, being used to produce high-tech outputs or exports. Now, the firms that are offering training for their own employees, which contribute also to innovation, is considered to be part of business sophistication, and we rank number 9 there. And as we move on, we take a look at the other innovation pillar, which is knowledge and technology outputs. Here, kanina nakita niyo yung high-tech imports where we rank number 5. Dito naman sa high-tech net exports where we rank number 1. And I think we can attribute this to the biggest contributor of high technology exports, which is the semiconductors and electronics sector in the Philippines. While most of the countries involved there are multinationals, there are also Filipino companies involved in this. Number 8 is ICT services, which I think will cover our BPO sector, which is actually a knowledge output. And the creative goods exports are, we are now in rank number 9. Number 8. Okay. Next, these are the details where we have graduates in science and engineering. It is very notable that we are now producing, although this is still very, very low compared to, let us say, other Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam and, of course, Malaysia. We now have a total of 3,120 MS graduates in 2016 to 18, and a total of, pag pinagsama mo yung dalawang PhD na yun, 433 PhD. Okay? The next slide shows the knowledge generators examples where we have on the leftmost side our smart agriculture program, smarter approaches to reinvigorate agriculture, which consists of several components, as you can see there, from crop, ano ba yun, phenology, to climate and weather monitoring, to the monitoring of yun na nga, weather, AWS, etc., crop models and genetic coefficients, okay, crop nutrient management, okay. All of these are very heavily dependent on technology sensors, okay, that helps the farmers. Hopefully, this will go down even to the smallest farmer that we have. Then we have examples of other generated knowledge that have been converted into businesses. Asher, which was launched last Monday, some of you were there. Mapua, which is our partner in developing the earthquake monitoring instruments, introduced their product Asher. And their main potential buyers here are, of course, the public sector, which needs to install these instruments to monitor the health of public infrastructure like bridges and tall buildings, and also the private sector, because the private sector need to be prepared also for earthquakes, particularly as we talk of the so-called big one. And I did notice that in the launching last Monday, there were several groups coming from the private sector. You can see Axis there, which is of course on a more personal use. This is the knee replacement system that is adapted to the Asian knee or to the Asian anatomy, and of course a much cheaper alternative to the imported ones. As a rough figure, about half of the usual cost, okay, from the imported knee replacement.